And so by limiting the things that you own and being intentional with the things you own do not own you.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Staircase to Nowhere. On this week's episode, we discuss some of the outward disciplines. These practices not only shape our inner life, they are an invitation to the watching world to consider what a life changed by Jesus looks like. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at staircasepod@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Instagram. Thanks again for listening. Hope you enjoyed today's conversation.
Hello, Staircase family. It is us, the Staircase to Nowhere crew. We are so glad that you're listening to this episode about spiritual disciplines, how punk rock they are for our counter formation. We're going to be working on the outward disciplines today. So we're glad to have you here. My name is Noah. I'm a seminary student in Atlanta, Georgia.
My name is Sam Carroll. I'm a director of street and community outreach in Louisville, Kentucky. That's my radio voice.
Oh, good. You should do that more often.
Thank you.
I'm David. Yeah. I work at Taylor University as a hall director and an occasional adjunct professor. Today, we're getting into some more of the good spiritual discipline conversation, specifically spiritual specific disciplines. We're on the outward disciplines today. Begin, I want to get a little question to start. When you meet a stranger, when you meet someone, how do you go about getting to know this person? How do you go about meeting strangers? You've already made the introduction. What do you do?
First, I wanted to say, as Noah's friend, I feel like Noah doesn't know any strangers and is so quick to just immediately meet somebody on a public transit thing and just be like, hey, so what do you do? And talk to them like that. Why are you face palming? And do you feel does that feel real, Noah? Does that feel like
no? That's definitely yeah. I don't feel like that's the question I asked, but the tone was exactly right.
So
I just come at people with that tone. Yeah, that tone is so disarming to people.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, which is a spiritual gift in itself. Am I right? Or not whatever. What are we talking about?
Not the same.
No, not the same. Yeah, and I feel like I'm pretty good at disarming people when I meet them. That's kind of my whole goal, I think. When I first meet people that I don't know, is I'm just trying to disarm them and let them know that I'm a safe person to talk to about just what. And that's very trivial. I don't meet strangers and try to get, hey, so do you want to confess something to me? I'm just I love talking to people. And I think I learned that from my grandma. My grandma is the best. I she's insane. She has friends she met on airplanes there's a woman she met on an airplane that she goes to visit often, and she lives in England. This woman no, I'm not even joking. This woman lives in Europe, England, and she met on an airplane and they started talking, and now they're friends. And when me and Erica got married, she was like, oh, you should go stay with my friend so-and-so for your honeymoon. I was like, what the heck? You meet people on airplanes. I got this. And my grandma, she does this. You. This is her. She has this crazy juke move to get people. If you're in public, and when you're in public with her, if she sneezes and somebody goes, "Bless you," or God bless you, she goes, "He has. Look at my beautiful family. This is my son my grandson Samuel." So she'll sneeze. Someone will be like, "God bless you," and then he'll be like, "God has blessed me. Look at his family. Look at him. Look at." I'm
through his son Jesus Christ.
So she's she is a conversation gymnast. So that's I've gotten some of that. Good. But yeah, I think my family's just good and sweet like that, disarming people.
That's good.
That's funny because I think of my grandparents too. My grandparents are just even better than me at meeting new people. I think because they don't have cell phones, and so their whole lives, if they've been in a waiting room or if they're waiting for an airplane, it's just there's nothing to do but talk to the person next to you. Whereas now you go to do that and you look, and literally everyone in the room is looking at their own 5-inch screen.
It feels like if I'm talking to a stranger, they think it's a confrontation.
What? What's wrong? What's up?
Yeah.
So, man, I'm trying to think if I have any strategies. One is that I always just start by saying, "Hi, I'm Noah," And if I start with my name, then they are more inclined to share their name.
That's
because
good.
I feel like the question of what's your name is a little like confrontational. Like, what are you asking?
Hey, you.
What do you need to know?
Yeah.
So if I just say, "Hey, I'm Noah," then they're usually like, "Oh, I'm so and so," and then I just start asking them questions. And like today, there was a guy at the gym. I didn't know his name, but I've seen him come like a bunch of times, and so I was just like, "So what's your work schedule?"
So how much money do you have?
I was like, I just see you pick up your kids all the time. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I work from home." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome. What do you do?" Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, "What kind of workout routine do you do?"
Dude, he is the king. The king of I don't know what this is, but just casual conversations and getting to know strangers.
It could be so awkward, but I was like, "Do you do a lot of cardio?" And he's like, "No, actually I don't, but I do jujitsu." And I was like, "You do jujitsu? My sister-in-law does jujitsu. Which gym do you go to?" Not that I know any of the gyms in town. You know,
you have zero social fear about like any of this stuff. When we were in Miami for your bachelor party, I think we were after the boat or whatever. You asked like a random person to take our picture, like of the group. Yeah. You just like were like, "Hey, you, can you take our picture?" And I was like, "Noah, what are you doing?" Like
we don't know them.
We don't know these people. And Noah's like, "Hey, you, random citizen." Like you're just so quick.
Get an AED.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's funny.
No, I don't have fear about it. And then I think the other thing is like I try to know like a little bit about a ton of stuff. So like I'm not into anime at all. But here's another example from today. We had a new coworker. She had a ton of tattoos. So I just asked her. I was like, "Oh, which one of your tattoos is your favorite?" And she says, "I have the Naruto emblem. And I love that." And I was like, "Oh." And I look at my other coworker and I'm like, "He loves anime." And he was like starstruck. I was like, "Oh my gosh." And then my other coworker's like, "What's anime?" And I'm like, "It's Japanese cartoons for adults."
Oh.
And
Looney Tunes for grown-ups.
And so I think that's kind of the way I work. I like try to make a connection to something that they said with something that I know like a little bit about, and then connect it to like someone else who's there. And like create this web of conspiracy theory where like there's all the red lines and it's like, "Hey, you like anime, she likes anime, she doesn't know what anime is. I'm gonna tell you what anime is based on my limited knowledge that I'm not interested in, but I'm interested in you." So that's kind of how I do these things.
There it is.
You are a true artist. A true artist.
I paint a picture.
Well, our first discipline on our little trolley tour of disciplines through the outward
sampler platter,
the sampler platter, the charcuterie board of disciplines that we are exploring tonight is the discipline of simplicity. And I don't know about you guys, but I definitely didn't grow up or didn't. I feel like most people would maybe be surprised at the idea that simplicity is counted among the disciplines. I can give just some brief overview and thoughts about the discipline of simplicity. I think when you look at the words of Jesus, he talks a lot about of specifically thinking Sermon on the Mount stuff. He just kind of this idea of like, where is your treasure, right? Like, where is your treasure? And Jesus really drives home this idea that our treasure isn't stuff of this world. Our treasure is stuff that is something totally other. It's something that we can't like put our hands on and hold. It's something we can't store up on earth in like vaults and in our homes. It's something heavenly and other. So like kind of this kind of discipline of simplicity is really rooted in this idea of identity in God, and that the thing that we value most as children of God and followers of Jesus are not the things that we can like put our hands on and collect, but they're other things. So just some brief stuff, I guess. When you guys hear the the word simplicity, or think of the discipline of simplicity, what are maybe some of the things that you guys, associate with the discipline of simplicity in your own lives or in your own teachings and stuff?
First thing that I think is just how countercultural simplicity is
Yes.
for our world as middle-class Americans, where so much of it is about collecting stuff, like we own a house, but we need a bigger house.
Yeah.
Or we have a car, but it's not the new car. Or I have the iPhone from last year. I want the iPhone from this year. And I need to get the new AirPods so that I can match my new iPhone and my new MacBook. It's this consumption mentality, which makes sense because we have this whole advertising industry trying to tell us that we need all this stuff constantly. Yeah. Ever since we were babies, watching ads telling us you need more stuff. And so we're like bred with this like discontent. And it's really easy to collect things and to hang on to it and to find our security in things. But what you said, Sam, is like so important that Jesus reminds us that our security is not in the things that we own. Yeah. It's not about storing up what we can get here. And that just really goes against like everything that the world tells us.
Yeah.
That's good. I think about a lot of the like church fathers and mothers who like, their goal was to own less than like 100 items when they die.
It's like a game.
And I'm like looking on my desk. I'm like, I have 100 items just on this desk
in the drawer.
Yeah. And I put in our show notes the quote from John Wesley, where he says, "Gain all you can, save all you can, and give all you can." And I think that this whole conversation comes with the idea of how are we using the resources that God has given us. I think like we have to look at this not just in our possessions, but in our money and in our time and all that. Yeah. And I think that the spiritual discipline of simplicity, like we need to look at the reason behind it. One is who here, like we've all been stressed by our stuff. Like if you've ever moved or if you've ever had things break, like they add so much weight to who we are. I don't know if you guys have heard the sermon illustration of like, you don't see a U-Haul behind a hearse. You all ever heard that before? Well, actually the other day I saw a U-Haul being towed by an ambulance. So I was like the closest. I wish I had a photo of it. I lost
That's the closest we'll get.
Yeah.
Quick, take my stuff with us.
To the hospital.
I'm gonna need it.
No, David, that's great. I think with what you just said, and this is identifying for all the disciplines of like what's the, there's a purpose behind them. There's a goal.
Yes.
And you listed some things like, the goal of simplicity is to free us. And that's like, again, kind of feels like an oxymoron, but like, it frees us to be humble people. It frees us to be generous people. It frees us to value the things that are truly valuable. I think that, and we don't talk about it, right? Like we don't talk about this idea of being people who live simple and quiet lives and, aren't sold on the false gospel that the stuff that we have translates into value, like as people. And, like, because that's just our cultures. The stuff you have translates into, your worth as a human and your worth in our culture and society. Like if you have nice things, you are true, like whatever. So, there's a lot of, and David, like what you just said, there's probably people who maybe hear that for the first time. Like what? The early church fathers and mothers tried to only have 100 items. Like, what are you talking? Like there's a really deep, with all these disciplines, there's a really deep and rich history with all this stuff. I can share some, I think it's helpful to share some like practical ways, like if you're listening, like how do you practice, simplicity? Like what does that look like in your life? And this is one I think, especially as Americans, we have to be so careful to practice because it's so easy not to, because it's so easy to buy the thing on Amazon and buy the thing on whatever, what's it, Temu or Shein or whatever. I mean, without getting into it, you could have a whole, we could do a whole episode on the dangers of like fast fashion and all this stuff that is feeding this. for myself, and I don't say this from a place of, you guys both know me. Like, I have a lot of room to grow in my, the way that I value my own possessions. But something me and Erica try to do to the best of our abilities is like, one, we try to be a buy it once family. Like, we try to think really hard about things that we need, and try to buy things that we won't need to purchase again, or like we won't need to buy multiple sets of, or like we're like, this is, if we're going to own this, we want to own this, and not have to have 5 versions of something, and not have to have like some not have like disposable things that we have to keep throwing away and like whatever. But we try to purchase things that are like quality and within our budget, and that won't like cause us to have to purchase more and more things. It might sound silly, but I try, even in my wardrobe, to be like conscious of like how I purchase clothes. Like, if you know me in the winter, I own a jacket. Like, I own like a shell jacket that is like, that's kind of my jacket that I wear in the fall and winter, because that's what I need. I can't wear more than one jacket at a time. So I try to be.
You can, but you look dumb.
No, you wore this jacket in Florida.
Yeah, Sam looks great in this jacket.
That's my jacket. But like, just thinking consciously about like, I don't want to be a person who's weighed down by all this stuff. I want to be conscious about what I need, and say, okay, I need this. I need clothes. I need these things. And to just like think twice about the things that we purchase, not be reactionary. We joke we have two-factor authentication when it comes to buying things on Amazon. Like, jokingly, like if we buy something, me and Erica talk about it before we hit send on something, like even simple, just because we don't want to be people who just hit send on like, oh, I'm just gonna buy this. But yeah, we try to create like speed bumps in our purchasing to go like, do we need this? Should we do this? Is it whatever? Even in small things, because like stuff adds up. So I don't know. Those are just some things that there's more, and I would love to, I don't want to spend a whole episode talking about this. When it comes to the discipline of simplicity, are there things in y'all's lives that you guys have implemented in trying to live lives that are, freed from stuff and try? Yeah. What do you guys have?
I love that.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. Like, I think a part of that's where in Foster's book, he talks about like buying, not like exactly what you're saying, like not buying more than what you need, and not becoming a slave to what you own. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you're hitting it right on the head. And the heart behind it too is it frees you up. It frees up your time and your resources in order to do other things, right? Like, all of us own a car, right? And by owning a car, it causes us to have to spend more money on the car, right? Like, time and money spent maintaining the car. Either you have to pay someone to do an oil change, or you have to do the oil change yourself. So you're losing both time and money. And so by limiting the things that you own and being intentional with the things you own do not own you, right?
Ooh.
So, Noah, you got any thoughts?
Love it. I don't think I practiced this one very much. But no, it makes a ton of sense. And I think that I wouldn't, on first glance say that I'm beholden to riches, and I don't try to accumulate wealth in a sense, but like just how easy it is to own a bunch of stuff. Like, we have 3 air fryers, and it's like they all have different purposes, of course. But yeah, just I think that's a very good thing to consider, being more intentional about our possessions and belongings.
Yeah, and I don't think it's not like anti-stuff. It's not like you just shouldn't own things, period, or whatever. But it's like, are you captivated by stuff, and do you let your stuff own you, like David said? And I think really with how easy it is to see something, want something, and buy something with like targeted advertisement and all this stuff, it's so easy for us to become prey to just like, I see it, I want it, I have it, it's at my door in 2 days.
Ariana Grande.
What?
I got it.
She does say that. All right, I'm gonna cut myself off.
Well, now we're going to talk about one that if you asked anyone that's known me the last 30 years, you would think, oh, he hates this more than any. And I have come to love this in the last
The
year.
discipline of haircuts.
I'm stuck on the fact he's been alive 30 years. My
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. The 90s, man. I remember it all. Solitude and silence.
Oh.
The disciplines of solitude and silence fit really well together. When you guys, let's play the game. When you hear the spiritual discipline of solitude or silence, what comes to mind for you guys?
Hammock, water, green space.
That's lovely. I was just gonna say the word inaccessible. Like it
Ooh.
feels impossible.
Because you don't own a hammock.
Or green space.
There's no water in Louisville except that nasty river.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Them's fighting
Watch your
words.
mouth.
That's the Queen
the Ohio
River
is
right there.
very brown, and we love it.
Hey, the Whitewater Rapids right there in Louisville,
Yeah.
man, they're special.
No, yeah. Just the word inaccessible. It's just so hard. Like, and I think I conjure up image of like, a monk, like on a mountain retreat center, just like silent and transcribing text or something alone.
That's the only way.
That's the only way. So I love, Noah, your answer. That's like, oh yeah, that's probably easier than we think it could be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, also for me, silence is like wake up in the morning, brush my teeth, sit on the couch for 30 minutes. Just sit, be still, be quiet. Rebecca comes to, talk to me, and I want to talk to her too. But also just like giving that space to be quiet before the Lord, to have my Bible, have my journal, and just be still and kind of let my thoughts come to rest.
It's good.
Yeah, I will admit, out of the three of us, I'm definitely in third place when it comes to the practice of
Well, I
silence and
failed the
solitude.
last one.
Yeah, this is good. This is good self-awareness.
Oh, good. We got our rankings.
Each of us are gonna fail something. So,
Yeah.
The spiritual discipline of silence and solitude, again, one that's been going on since Jesus, right, or before. You have the Old Testament folks would even go spend time alone. But it's this idea of intentionally setting time aside. It's not solitude or silence by accident, because there can be moments where like, I haven't talked to anyone in 6 hours, or
Yeah.
no, it's
I built this shelf.
Yeah, it's the intentional decision to separate yourself however you can, right? There's there's levels of difficulty with that. And deciding to put yourself before the Lord in that silence and in that solitude. And so, for some people, they get up 30 minutes early and drink a cup of coffee. For some people, they spend 30 years on a bluff in the mountains or in the desert, right?
Whoa, that was a big range you just did there, Dave.
I wanted to really get the whole.
There's no middle.
Range. Yeah, you cannot do one or the other. It's
coffee or it's a life of solitude.
I tell you what, simplicity and solitude really go hand in hand if you're out in the desert.
If you're Ron Swanson.
That's why they're called desert fathers and mothers. That's what they did. They were out in the desert being quiet and getting to know God.
I couldn't do that. 30 years is a long time. But I've this year I've really been intentional with this, and it is life-changing. I'm an extrovert through and through, and I love talking to people. But back in March, I took a week alone in the woods in southern Indiana, and I didn't intentionally talk to anyone. Now, there were moments like I had to talk to the park office person who was asking what I was doing or whatnot, but I was intentionally, spending the time by myself, and it was so rejuvenating. Now, not all of us can take a full week to be alone, but that's where I think you can find, like Noah said, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, half a day, to break up your schedule, break up your routine, and say, I'm going to intentionally silence myself, silence my thoughts, so then I can sit before the Lord. And so it's difficult to do for some people. If you are someone who's a big internal monologue person, this one is very difficult to do, right? If your mind is racing and you're talking to yourself all day, it can be done. It just takes more practice. Now, if you're like me and you open up my head and you see just a cricket in there, it's easy for me to do. But if you actually have some brain power going on, it's a little more difficult.
I've only got 2 fuses. It's real easy.
Yeah, you open up, you see like sparks.
Yeah.
Cobweb, a little spider runs away.
Well, I'll admit, like, just to name, like, I am obsessed with productivity in like checking boxes and getting stuff
He's
done.
a 3 people.
It is so like being quiet for any amount of like not doing something or like is so hard for me to just like I just name it like this has been a really hard one for me because even in like my alone time I like want a podcast or I want to be like not like this like like listening to something. Like literally nothing going out, nothing coming in, just like stillness and silence is like a really hard thing for me. But necessary nonetheless.
Well, and that's where I think you can, ease yourself into it. And so maybe you start by, if you never have silence or solitude, maybe start with one or the other, right? I know for me, the temptation is like, if I have a moment of silence, I quickly throw on Spotify or I throw on YouTube or whatever, or TikTok or Facebook Reels or all that stuff. So my practical advice for this one is it's baby steps, right? So you start by saying, okay, the next time I'm in my apartment alone or in my home alone, I'm going to put my phone or my computer on the other side of the room and I'm just going to be still for 5 minutes, You could even set a timer on your phone, right? That's what I've told some of my students. Is all right. I'm going to do a timer for 20 minutes. Put your phone on the other side of the room, because you're reprogramming your brain. That's the problem. Is with all the dopamine receptors, you have to have that, and so you're reprogramming your brain. You say in 25 minutes I can go check my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But taking those little baby steps to have moments of silence or moments of solitude, and the dividends you'll gain back are just incredible. Just this idea of like, I'm intentionally saying I want to be before my God. So there is silence and solitude, boys. Let's keep moving.
The third S, outward discipline that we have is service. And this one is coming out of, they're all S's, can you believe it? Because they're southward practices.
Yeah. Sounds like a disease.
My favorite restaurant, southward practices.
And this one is based out of Philippians 2. It's talking, let each one of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus. And then it talks all about who Jesus is and the sacrifice he made, how he, though being God, chose to submit himself and to serve us and the whole world. And so we get to be more like Jesus when we serve, when we do the things that he does. We submit ourselves not to my way, what I want to do, my making the life that I want, getting everything right to my desires, but choosing to submit to God, submit to his word, submitting to the authority of the Bible in your life and living out what it says, and then choosing to submit to others, submitting towards what does your family want? What is best for the church? What is best for your neighbors around you? All these are ways that we get to serve and lay down ourselves and our preferences, so that others can thrive, and then we get to, in the process, just get shaped and formed to be more like Jesus, the one who is the only one who actually deserved everything and still chose to give up his life. So, what are some ways that you guys have served? I know, both of you have held the title of minister before, which means servant. And so just what are some of maybe your favorite ways to serve others?
I'm going to start with saying this is the one I am the worst at. We've all found our fail. I'm just such a selfish person, right? Like I struggle with this of like that idea of wanting to put other people before myself.
Sure.
And so even at my work, even like I look good and I'm like, oh, I'm helping out, but it's again the temptation is there for that like self-glorification. And I think the heart really needs to be behind it of not elevating yourself, but literally that posture of laying down your own desires and needs. And so this is one I'm still working on the daily.
Yeah, you're right. Because the point of all these disciplines is not just to do the thing. The point is who it's shaping us into, and to be shaped to be more like Jesus. So even if we're, serving the homeless, but we have not love, if it's like, because I'm live streaming it, I want to see just how great I am. Like, that doesn't make you more like Jesus at all. That makes you annoying, more like Satan. Yeah. Like, more like, hey, look at me. And so it's not just the action, of course, it is the heart behind it. So, David, we receive your confession.
Thank you. Oh, wait, that's for next week is confession.
Hey,
we'll save it. We'll
move on from the S's to the C's.
To the C's? Are they all C's next week?
I forget. Let me scroll down.
I think like there's something very formative about serving people that are undeserving. There's nothing in my opinion, there's nothing that will help you be shaped into the image of Jesus than to stepping into the role of providing love, care, genuine hospitality, and concern and service for people that are undeserving of it. Because that's the good news of the gospel.
That's Jesus' whole thing.
That Jesus came, preached, suffered, died, and rose again for people that he loved, that people that didn't, and people who were also he loved at the same time didn't deserve the sacrifice that he offers us. So I think that is in my work and the stuff that I do as a vocation right now. Like that is something even something I've had to tell myself a lot of times is like not just serving, but being willing to serve those that are quote unquote undeserving. Like we can create categories of who deserves our service, what boxes people need to check before we are willing to like step out and help them. And that's not the Christian message. Like the Christian message is one of like, these open, like love that is poured out in a way that is almost like, reckless. It's like, why are you giving so much to these people that are crucifying you?
And how can you welcome back the son who spent all your money?
Exactly. Yes. How do you welcome back the prodigal that has spent all your money? So yeah, I just think in the way of formation and spiritual formation, it's hard to. That's kind of my shtick, I guess, too. Is like it's hard to undervalue the role of kind of.
This was one of the lines that our pastor Kevin used to always say in youth group growing up. He would say, "You're never more like Jesus than when you're serving," and that was like a big part of like his discipleship plan for the youth group was get people serving. Like get these church kids who have heard the gospel all their lives actually like living out the gospel with the elderly in the church or, someone in need or someone who's moving. Help in some way. And then you're suddenly going to have to be a little more like Jesus.
Exactly.
David, you want anything else or no?
Go ahead, Sam.
I'm maybe exactly, Noah. And shout out to PK all the time. That's when Jesus sends the 72. I was just thinking about that. Like when Jesus sends the 72, it's, this go and proclaim the kingdom of God is here and go and heal the sick. And like, it's both of those things happening at the same time. That's how Jesus says to practice this formation, like go and serve and let them know there's good news, that there's a new reality that is breaking through, that is made possible by Jesus, and heal diseases and bring peace in all these places. So serving people who are undeserving will change your life because it will, it'll shape you into the type of person that Jesus was. And and it's really hard. not to say it's easy, but it's really hard. So, Noah, do you have any practical advice for how we should serve people? tell people this is your section. How do you do it?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, starts at home, right? I don't know who you live with. If you live with roommates, or you still live with your parents, or if you live with a spouse or family, like there's someone right there that you can serve by, I don't know, picking up your own mess and then picking up their mess. Like to just offer out of nowhere to do the dishes if you don't normally do that, or to clean the bathroom because it needs to be done, or any of those kind of like normal house chores. See it as your act of service to these people that you love and the opportunity to be shaped more like Jesus. And then same with like when you're in your workplace or wherever, like when you see an opportunity to help someone else out, even if they can't reciprocate it, put yourself out there, offer that. And when they go, oh, wow, why would you do this? Like, it's what Jesus would do. And that's who I want to be more like. Like, just the opportunity to serve people in a way they would not expect is going to give you opportunity to show that's who Jesus is. So it doesn't need to be, okay, well, I need to go volunteer once a week at the soup kitchen so I can serve. Or like, okay, let me start serving in kids ministry at the church. Although those would be excellent. But how can you be serving the people that you regularly see and live with and they have to put up with you? How can you be loving to them?
And I'll add a note for if you are, maybe if you're a minister, you're in church or whatever, and you're like, how do we maybe serve our community? What, like, if you are, I'm saying this as a social services provider, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Go find the people who are already doing the work and be a faithful follower of Jesus and say, how can we help? Like, what are your needs? How, like, sometimes there's a temptation to be like, we need to do homeless ministry. Let's start a like, I promise, wherever you are, probably, I shouldn't say, there's a good chance there's already people doing good work that have, there's good relationships, there's good work that's happening. And like, be somebody that is willing to join work that is already happening. Don't feel like you have to be the person who spearheads a new thing. Like, what if God is calling you to load water bottles for outreach, not start your own, your own whole new thing. Like, I would just encourage you, go find where people are already doing the work and just be willing to say yes to some of the hard things that they need help with. The work is hard and it is not glamorous and it is, all those things, but I'll just shameless plug for that. Like, find places that it's already happening and do it. And
those social services organizations need you to be a Christian there.
Yes.
A lot of times in the church, we feel like, but they're not Christians. They don't share our values or whatever. Like, that's right. That's why they need you to be there. So that you can
stop talking. I will do a whole series on this conversation.
All right, we'll do it. Let's do it, Sam. That's next.
Too funny. All right. Well, that was our section for the day of spiritual disciplines, focusing on others, right? The outward-facing disciplines. We're not necessarily going to do our staircase to somewhere like we do normally, because we kind of tried to build that in. Unless you guys have any thoughts you want to add to it, but I'll open that up if you guys have any closing thoughts you want to add.
I think of the book Delighting in the Trinity, about who God is, that He is 3 in 1, and so that means that He is outward at all times. He is constantly glorifying the Father, glorifies the Son glorifies the Spirit. There's the giving, this self-giving love. That's who God is. So that so much like just how wonderful that community was, that He wanted to create a whole world to get to fill with that self-giving love. And so that's the impetus for us to become outward-facing people. God isn't calling us just to be saved by ourselves, but to receive that overflowing love that then gets poured out to the rest of the world. God can't even contain that love in Himself. He's got to spread it. And so let's be those people who are just conduits of His love and continuing to be outward facing and not just like seeing spiritual disciplines as my self-improvement program to make me better, to fill my cup so I can get fed. It's not about you. It's about God. And this is who he is. He's outward facing, so we need to be too. And that's what these disciplines are meant to do in you.
Beautiful.
It's awesome. Well, thanks for the conversation today, gents. Next week, we'll be looking at the corporate disciplines. So looking at confession, worship, guidance, and celebration.
Not like corporate America discipline.
Yes, corporate America discipline.
Jan Levinson Gould will be here.
Jan Levinson.
We're going to Chili's. That's where all
there's
business
no more
happens.
Chili's is the new golf course.
If you guys have any questions or thoughts, or you want to chime in on the conversation, please email us at staircasepod@gmail.com, or you can slide into our DMs at...
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Don't text us. Don't mail us. Those are the ways. But we're excited to continue to have this conversation as we grow together of what it looks like to follow Jesus using these spiritual disciplines that have been going on since at least 30 years. I'm going to guess more since before I was
at least
around.
30 years for sure.
Yeah. So, you guys have any closing quips that you need to get out?
Closing quips here. No.
Did you guys ever watch Zoom? Remember that TV show, the kids show?
Come on and Zoom.
Come on and Zoom. And they'd always be like, send us a letter to Boston, Mass. 02134.
We need a P.O. box.
That's how memorable that is.
Let's get a P.O. box before a Facebook. How about that, Steve? All right. Hey, thank you, David, for leading us through this conversation. And look forward to next week.
Yeah, we'll see how Naveed thought of this episode.
Hey,